Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the NGS headline because it just ended at the time of this recording and there is a ton of stuff to cover. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing you guys may have noticed is, yes, my outfit is a little bit different in this video because I thought that this was going to be my final look for 2024. But they showed some really cool outfits in the NGS headline that is coming in December, so I'm kind of on the fence now. I was even gifted this beautiful art piece that you can see right now. They even made an animated version of it, and I was like, wow, this is the look for 2024. But we're gonna go over the AC scratches later in this video, and you're gonna see why I'm kind of hesitant, because there are some outfits and some motion dashes that I really like. But anyway, with that out of the way, the first thing I want to talk about is the new Genesis Festival. Yes, they have just made up this new festival out of nowhere, but it sounds really cool, the artwork is really cool, the logo looks really nice, and there are a ton of freebies. So as we can see over here, the Super Genesis Festival starts on December 6th, and there are a ton of campaigns happening all at the same time. The first campaign kicking in is the Super Use the Salon to Your Heart's Content campaign. This one's relatively straightforward. You can use the salon as many times as you want, you can change as much as you want, and you do not need to pay a salon pass, so really nice. Now on top of that, we are also getting the Super Genesis Gifts Part 1, Genesis Points Super Boost campaign, Super Treasure Scratch, as well as the Super New and Returning Arcs Call to Arms event. Now later down the line on December 20th, we also get the Super Pre-Announced Urgent Quest and Boost campaign, which is also really good. But with that being said, what exactly is this Super Genesis Gift Part 1? So you get 15 end color change passes, you get a free 15 days material storage, and you also get a bunch of Genesis points. You get all of this front loaded. You just need to log in on December 6th and you immediately get all of this. There's no silly log in every single day to get this and that. It's just one time you log in, you get everything all at once. Super front loaded, super awesome. Now on top of that, there is also the Genesis Point Super Boost campaign, where you get 100% more Genesis points acquired whenever you do Leciel exploration. Now on top of that, we also have the Super Treasure Scratch, where you earn 6 Treasure Scratch tickets every single day by simply doing your dailies. And on top of that, whenever you run an urgent quest, you can also earn even more Treasure Scratches, and you can also do urgent quests twice, which is really cool because I know a lot of people really liked it when you could do urgent quests back to back, and well, you can do that throughout the entirety of this event. Now on top of being able to do the urgent quest twice every time it pops up, we will also be getting a rare drop rate plus 100%, as well as a drop rate item preset skill rate plus 100% on December 20th when we do get the Super Pre-Announced Urgent Quest and Boost campaign, so that is going to be really nice. However, on top of all of those campaigns, there are a ton of quality of life changes coming in as well. We are getting the story completion campaign, so once you complete chapter 5 of the main story, you earn 2.5 million Meseta, which is actually a substantial amount of Meseta, especially if you're just starting out or if you're a free-to-play player. This is a big deal. Just getting it for free is very nice. Now don't worry, if you've completed the story already like myself, you just automatically get this extra money the moment you log in, so don't worry about it. Don't be like, oh dear, I missed out on this extra free money. You will get all of the rewards. Now on top of that, you also get SG Legacy coordination badges as well as special scratch tickets, so make sure that you just log in and get all of these freebies. Now if you are a new player or a returning player who decided to make a new character, keep in mind that Sega has now changed their salon free use period, and it's been extended from 5 hours to 72 hours, which is really nice. This basically means when you first create your initial free character, you gotta adjust your face, adjust all your body proportions, but sometimes you might not be happy with it. Well, in the past, they only gave you 5 hours to edit everything back for free. However, they're extending that to 72 hours, so this is a very big change. It's very nice to be able to just fix things. Maybe you messed up your character's nose a little bit, or their eyes look a little bit cross-eyed or whatever. Well, you have plenty of chances to fix this, because now instead of having only 5 hours to fix everything and finalize everything, you have a whopping 72 hours or 3 days to fix stuff. Now on top of that, they are also making it super easy for returning players and new players to just complete the story, and you're super incentivized to actually complete the story, because they basically made everything super easy in the main story, and they're giving you a ton of equipment to actually progress as you complete the story. As you can see over here, reach level 65 and get powerful equipment with enhancement plus 80. So you're actually getting a 9-star rarity weapon as well as 7-star rarity armors with fully enhancement plus 80 and affixed augments on them already. This is a very big deal because I've seen a lot of players come in, they finally complete the story, they're leveling up their classes, and they're like, Kero, I don't know where to begin. Where do I get my first 9-star rarity weapon? How do I farm Leciel exploration? Blah, blah, blah. There's a ton of questions and a ton of issues that new players are having because they don't know where to farm, and they don't have a baseline of standard gear to actually start farming Leciel exploration or start farming all of the basic content that everyone else is farming. Well, lucky for us, once you reach level 65, you get everything for free. So this is a very big change. Remember, this kicks in on December 6th. So if you want all of this free stuff, just make sure that you log in on December 6th, and as long as your character is level 65 or above, you will get all of this free gear. You throw it onto your character and you're good to go. It's really, really nice that they're giving you all of this free stuff. Now, on top of all of that, they're actually making it even easier to level up all of your subclasses because they're increasing the EXP amount that you get from 50% to 90%. So yeah, leveling up your subclass is going to be a piece of cake. You're going to get all of your subclasses to level 75 or 80, and yeah, it's going to be really easy. Now, of course, we need to talk about the super new and returning ARC's Call to Arms campaign. This does require you to have a Twitter account or X, and you do need to upload your ARC's ID over there with the hashtag NGS Super Genesis Festival, and as long as there's more than 5,000 people who post this, everyone will get a bunch of star gems as well as special scratch tickets, as well as the persona pose and persona outfits. So just make sure that if you do have Twitter or if you do have X, that you do this. But now with that campaign out of the way, let us talk about actual content that is coming in. So the very first thing I want to talk about is, of course, the main story, chapter 6 part 4. So we are getting more story. From what we saw from the trailer, it doesn't look that interesting. I feel like it's going to be more blibber blabber and they're just going to be talking again. But who knows, Sega might surprise us here. Now, something that caught me totally off guard was they are reworking the bouncer class. So the bouncer is getting a major balance makeover. It's not just, oh, we're just balancing some numbers. It's like a big change for bouncer players. So if you use the soaring blades or the jet boots, you know, make sure to check it out. It's going to be a lot of big changes. But if you play other classes, don't worry, there's also the new enhancement system, Tech Arts Customization. Every single PA is getting 3 new options basically. So this is really, really awesome because you get to add additional effects to your existing photon arts as well as techniques. However, do keep in mind, if you do use techniques, like let's say you're a force player, you are limited to your fire techniques as well as your wind techniques, I believe. I think it's fire, wind, and light, or it was just fire and wind. I forgot, I wasn't really paying that much attention. But nevertheless, with techniques, you are limited to specific elements or 2 elements, versus other classes that use photon arts, you're going to get a lot more customizability. And so definitely check out this system. Remember, it kicks in on December 6th. This is going to be the #1 thing that I'm going to be checking the moment the servers go live, because I definitely want to see what I can customize and what I can add onto all of my different photon arts. And you bet your butts I will have a braver guide on this, as well as what fits my personal play style, as well as what is sort of meta. And of course, all of our weapons and armors can now be enhanced all the way up to plus 80. However, I do not think we are getting any extra augment slots, unfortunately. But nevertheless, this is free stats. We're going to get more damage, we're going to get more defense. And they did clarify that you're going to need a lot of Golden Prim Swords 2 and Golden Prim Armors 2. Now, because they specifically said that, I'm going to assume that they are not going to be releasing Golden Prim Armors 3 as well as Golden Prim Swords 3, because why else would they talk about 2s if 3s were coming out? The next thing I want to talk about is Leciel Exploration. They've added a bunch of new LC capsules, they've added 2 new bosses, and they've added new buffs in this region. So you definitely want to run Leciel Exploration, because on top of that, remember those add-on effects for your photon arts, you need a specific material that you can only get from Leciel Exploration. I don't actually know if it's exclusive to Leciel Exploration or if you can farm it anywhere else, but I'm assuming that Leciel Exploration is kind of going to be the place to farm for a lot of different different materials because you need the new LC capsules. There's these new bosses which look really cool. There's going to be new ability buffs, and then of course you need all of those add-on abilities for your photon arts. So Leciel exploration is going to be a very popular place to farm again. Now on top of that, we are finally getting new ranks added to the Battle Dia Purple for Alio as well as Retem, so we can finally just, you know, fight Gigantics whenever we want. And on top of that, the 10-star rarity weapon, the Flugel Guard, can drop from Gigantics that are level 84 and above, so basically purple triggers, and from Dread enemies that are level 82 and above, so basically all the Dread enemies in Makid, so that is also really nice. Now do keep in mind, on December 20th, we actually get another campaign that kicks in, or another event, where there will be high-level Dread enemies in North and South Retem, so it's going to be Dread farming all over again, because instead of having the giant mutants, we're actually getting King Captains. So since, you know, King Captain sounds pretty awesome, I'm assuming maybe Mastery 5s are finally being introduced in the game. Again, we're gonna have to wait and see. Now on top of all of this, they've also drastically increased the drop rate for the 9-star and 10-star rarity weapons from Urgent Quest, as well as materials in combat sectors. So even though they say they drastically increased the drop rate for 9 and 10-star rarity weapons in Urgent Quest, I still think it's still going to be relatively low. I don't think they're going to be flooding the market with Flugel Guards anytime soon, but you know, Sega might surprise me, but I'm not holding my breath on that. However, regarding the materials for combat sectors, this they specified pretty clearly. So remember 1 to 2 months ago when we had a 100% RDR boost, and basically we were getting arms refiners to like 40 an hour or something? They are basically making that a permanent thing with this buff. So if you do need arms refiners as well as golden prim swords 2 and all of that stuff, and you just don't feel like farming this entire period, it's perfectly fine. You can wait until December 6th update kicks in and then farm for everything. It might be a little bit easier on you that way because it's going to drop like candy. They did specify that the drop rate for arms refiners 2 as well as golden prim swords are going to be even crazier than what we had 1 to 2 months ago, so that is really good news. Now on top of that, we also have the Joyful Holidays AC scratch. I know for a fact that the double lip piercing is going to be something that Chrono Catastrophe is going to go absolutely crazy with, because he literally has double lip piercings in real life, so I'm pretty sure he's going to go 1-to-1 with that and definitely pick that up. But now for the part that all the tryhards have been waiting for, and that is of course the new high difficulty quest. So we are getting Darkfall's Aegis. So if you guys remember fighting Darkfall's Aegis at Halphia Lake, basically that fight is coming back again. However, he has an absolutely different moveset, and there are going to be certain mechanics where you can't actually sidestep or iframe, and you actually need to have good positioning and everything. So this is definitely going to be another endgame activity, similar to what we have right now with Sign of the Planet Breaker. This is just another extra boss in case you get tired of Sign of the Planet Breaker. You can now fight Darkfall's Aegis instead. However, remember this is a high difficulty quest, so you are limited to 4 players. You could only die up to 5 times, and there is a time limit, so you do need some level of gear in order to complete this. This is really for the tryhards and not really catered towards more casual players, but nevertheless, this is available to everyone. You do not need any triggers, no nothing. You can just jump into it whenever you want, which is really nice. But now to top out the Christmas seasonal event, this doesn't kick in until December 20th, so we still have a little bit of time before this kicks in, but it's just your regular seasonal event. There's going to be a ton of freebies. We've got the seasonal lady, you farm for seasonal points by defeating enemies, so forth and so on. Now as for the seasonal weapon, I'm just going to call this the Very Cool series, because I think that just rolls off the tongue a little bit better, even though it clearly doesn't say very cool. But nevertheless, this is the new seasonal weapon, and it's going to be decked out. Basically just buy it from the shop and you're good to go. It's going to be limit break to level 80. However, it's going to be enhanced to plus 60. Its potential is going to be unlocked to level 6 already, and it'll have 5 augment slots affixed already onto the weapon. So it's pretty much done. All you need to do is enhance it from 60 to 80. That will actually cost you quite a lot of golden prim swords too, but nevertheless, you know, it's at least you don't need to limit break it anymore. And on top of that, your weapon potential is already fully unlocked, and you can just slap in another augment. Now keep in mind that this time the seasonal augment is a little bit different, because not only is it effective effective against seasonal enemies, it's also effective against non-seasonal enemies. So when the season ends, you can still use the Season Augment on that weapon if you want. So the seasonal weapons are definitely a good contender for people who just don't want to farm for anything. You're having difficulty getting a nice rarity weapon with a high fixer, well, this seasonal weapon is going to be your solution. You literally just get this, they're going to be dropping like candy, you're just going to be smashing them together and get one with a high fixer and you're good to go. Now on top of all that, we also have a new limited time quest, a gift from Benefan. So this is interesting. It's kind of like an obstacle course, but there's a bunch of enemies that you got to go through all these different stages and you got to defeat all these enemies. Seems relatively simple. Get from point A to point B and kill everything in your path and you get a bunch of swag, as they say. This is their words, not my words. You get a lot of swag. Really cool, very nice. Now running the limited time quest is not your cup of tea. They are bringing back the defeat dread enemies with special task markers in North and South Ritem. So this is basically exactly the same as what we had with the giant mutants before. You defeat a bunch of dread enemies or veterans and then you get these special monsters to spawn, but in our case we are getting Rappies, captains, as well as king captains to spawn instead. So this might be a very good farm for a lot of mastery capsules, especially if they do decide to introduce mastery 5. Since the new king captain is being introduced, I am fairly confident that we will probably get some sort of new capsule that only the king captain can drop. Now, of course, we can't have a Christmas seasonal event without presents, so we do have this new reward box system. So as long as you log in and you do your daily task, it's kind of like a secret Santa, or like the, I don't know what it's called, the chocolate calendar thing, where you like open one of the things every single day and there's like a different piece of chocolate. It's similar to that, but in this case, there's like a calendar or a grid of a bunch of different items that you can get, and you get a free pull every single day as long as you do your daily tasks. And then eventually you will get all of the items in the grid or in the calendar, and there are a bunch of cosmetic items, some material items, as well as other rewards. So you just want to make sure that you log in every single day and do your daily tasks to guarantee all of the rewards. Now on top of this, we also have the winter 2023/2024 special scratch, and of course there are a bunch of weapon camos, a bunch of cosmetic goods over here, and there's just a ton of goodies. So just make sure that you farm up enough seasonal points in order to buy out all of these special scratch tickets from the seasonal shop so that you can get all of these goodies. Now of course there are going to be limited time quests as well as dailies and weeklies that will reward you additional special scratches, but you know, the surefire way is just farm up a bunch of seasonal points and you're good to go. But now it is time to talk about the Black Lagoon collaboration. It actually looks really freaking awesome. You get a bunch of freebies by simply logging in, which is really nice. But the main attraction is of course going to be the AC Scratch Black Lagoon style. There are a ton of really cool weapon camos over here, especially Roberta's disguised firearms. I feel like her entire set of weapons look absolutely insane, so I definitely will be picking up a couple of those. I don't think I saw a katana, unfortunately, but nevertheless I'm going to be picking up a couple of them just because they look really ridiculous, like the suitcase assault rifle. Like how can I say no to that? I need that. And yeah, there's just a bunch of really cool cosmetic items in this collaboration, so just make sure that you do pick them up if you want any of them. However, remember at the very beginning of this video where I said that I was pretty sure that I was set with my 2024 look, but now I'm super hesitant? It's because of this new AC Scratch Ticket New Year's charm. So this doesn't come out until the 27th of December, but there are some really nice outfits. There are some really nice Motion Dash Samurai EX as well as the Motion Idol Samurai. I know I said Sega, please add in some more katana stuff, and maybe Sega listened. No, I'm pretty sure it's a purely coincidental, but they added in a bunch of Japanese themed and samurai themed and katana themed stuff in here, and it just looks absolutely gorgeous. So I want a lot of this stuff over here. The only thing I am a little bit peeved about is going to be the Motion Dash Samurai EX, because that is a scratch count bonus, which means I do need to spend AC, but with how much it costs to get that motion item, it is a little bit too expensive for my taste, so I'm not gonna get the EX version. I think I'll just settle with the regular free-to-play version where you can just buy it off the player shop. But man, they are nailing it with the EX versions here. This is what they should be doing in future scratches. You know, the EX versions need to look that much better over the regular version, and that will incentivize people to actually buy it. I just kind of wish that the EX versions were also sellable or tradable on the player market as well, because oh, that one looks so cool. I just really want it, but I can't really justify dropping like 40 bucks for it. It's kind of expensive. Now, something that they didn't show in the video is the Halpha Revival December 2023. So this is basically a recap of a bunch of different SG scratches smashed together, and we will get 10 free pulls every single day starting from December 27th. So just make sure that from December 27th onward for that entire week, you log in every single day to do your free 10 pull, because it's a bunch of freebies and it's really nice to pick up all of these free cosmetic items. Now, regarding the operation report, there were a bunch of really boring questions. However, this one was pretty interesting. Will you address enhancement materials like the golden prim swords taking up a lot of space in storage? I definitely have this problem, and well, the dev said that we will be able to exchange our golden prim swords 2 into C and Demio capsules. So for those who don't know what the heck these capsules are, they're basically an augment that gives you 100,000 EXP, and they are automatically on golden prim swords. So this is a really nice way to basically just consolidate all of your golden prim swords 2 as well as all of your golden prim armors 2 into capsule form that you can just throw into your material storage, and when you need them, you can take these capsules out and change them back into golden prim armors 2 or golden prim swords 2 so that you can use them. So this is really nice, and this will be introduced in the month of December. That is what the developer said, so I'm really happy about that change. The next thing I want to go over are the updates to the AC shop boosters. So they are changing a bunch of boosters, as you can see right here. Basically all the plus 100% RDR boosters are getting boosted to 200%, but the prices for all of these boosters are going to stay the same, so you're just getting double the boost, I guess. However, on top of that, they are also introducing a daily try boost where you can buy it once a day, which gives you an N try boost plus 50% for 100 AC every single day, as well as a weekly discount where you can buy this rare drop rate plus 200%, as well as an N EXP earn 100% where you can buy these separately at a significantly lower price. So this is nice. This is kind of like incentivizing people to buy stuff and spend their AC, microtransactions, stuff like that. I'm not going to fall for this because you know and I know that rare drop rate is a lie. However, what isn't a lie is the next collaboration coming in January, and it is 7 Deadly Sins. I am incredibly surprised that we are going to be able to see Elizabeth as well as Mediolas. You know, this is going to be really awesome. I can't wait to see this. I'm a big fan of 7 Deadly Sins. I really hope that we get to see Ban over here, as well as the Sun God guy. I forgot what his name is, but he's crazy. I really hope that we get to see their weapons as well. And yeah, I'm definitely super excited for the 7 Deadly Sins collaboration. So in conclusion, I think that this NGS headline is an absolute W. There's a lot of new stuff being introduced into the game, a lot of big changes. I'm very happy with all of these changes, as well as the new content that they're introducing. And yeah, it's just overall a really good time to play NGS. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!